Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Erin. I go by Erin the Urban Mermaid, and I am a mother, a writer. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a 5D soul guide. I'm a spiritual business coach, and I'm an esoteric healer. I'm an Usui Reiki master, and as of last month, I am now certified in advanced theta healing, which is part of the reason for my absence here. I'll get to that in just a second, though. I am also a psychic astrologer and the founder of the Grounded and Glam series, which I have a monthly membership program for my fellow empaths and light workers on their spiritual and personal development journeys. I also do birth charts and readings, which is probably why you are here. I just want to say, I know I haven't been on here, I haven't been active on here. As I mentioned, I did take in a course last month so I could get certified in the theta healing modality. But as many of you know, I also miscarried. So that was kind of tough on myself, spiritually, emotionally, energetically, physically. And I had all these great people lined up for my podcast, which, as you know, I interview on here as well. And that just had to take a back seat. So I do appreciate everyone who reached out with their support. I am feeling much better now and ready to get back with it. But that's also why this Gemini reading is a little bit late. So if you are here for the Grounded and Glam Sun Goddess, Gemini Sun Goddess tarot reading. Super exciting. So we've been in Gemini season since the end of May, and this has been wild. Last month, this month, June, is just wild in the cosmos. We are knee deep in Mercury retrograde, which is probably at its most potent because Mercury rules Gemini. As well as we are in eclipse season, and the eclipses are taking place in our north and south nodes. So this is about karma, this is about fate, and this is about destiny. Plus, we have two other planets in retrograde. So we're all just trying to make it out alive here. But if you're here, you're here. You're in a good place. You're in good hands. So I'm here to help you guys out with that. A little bit about Gemini. So Gemini is a sister sign to Sagittarius. Gemini is actually my earth sign because Sagittarius is my sun sign. And Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and it is a mutable air sign. So mutable means that they're open and flexible and okay with change. Air signs really have to do with communication and consciousness. So Gemini is known to be very intellectual, very sharp, quick-witted, the one-liners, extremely charming, very social. If you've ever had a reading with me, I always call Geminis the Tinkerbells of the zodiac. And that's because they kind of like flutter around from group to group. They're like the hostesses with the mostesses. They got the one-liners. They're charming. They're super interesting. They're so trendy. They are like the Joneses to be kept up with. But they never really stop and go deep with a lot of people. So if you're someone who's with a Gemini, just know you must be someone very special because they usually like to keep stuff surface level. And I do not mean that in a negative way. Gemini is very mental. They're very in their heads, and that's how they process things. Gemini and Mercury itself is all about the processing of information. So they're usually the overanalyzers, always in their head, picking at things. One thing about Gemini, I will say, is a shadow comes up as indecisiveness with them. And that's because they are just people who like options at the end of the day. Give Gemini an option, whether they're going to take it or not, they're more inclined to make that decision. Some of the shadows that do show up, they get a bad rap for being two-faced. They're Geminis, the twins. And again, I think that's coming from some mercurial energy of just, wanting to be in the know and in conversation. They could be gossipy, chatty. Some can go as far as saying manipulating, conniving, but we all have our shadows, and that's just really the fact of it. So let's get to the reading. Because Gemini kind of has this whimsical energy, I went with two of my more colorful and fun decks that I really enjoy. So this is the Star Spinner Tarot. I really like the colors on it, and I'm not a cartoon or a Disney person, so I guess whimsical is the right word. So that's why I'm kind of using this. Is I just like the lightheartedness to the deck, as well as I have used this one on here before. This is the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann, and her colors and her vibrancy and her messages are just gorgeous. So both of these kind of reminded me of Gemini, which is why I went with them. All right, so why don't we get it cracking and see what Gemini season has in store for all of us? I already did a short meditation, so I'm just going to shuffle up a little bit again until it feels good. Okay. I hope everyone's retrograde is going okay. Such a wild season. If you guys don't already read my blogs, I do astrology blogs over on Fire and Lux, so you could keep up with what's going on astrologically over there as well. I was doing my Mercury retrograde readings, but as usual, those fill up so fast. So I have something else really awesome coming to you guys towards the end of the month that I'm starting next week. So I can't take any more Mercury retrograde readings till the next time around when it will be in Libra. So let's get some cards here. Can I get some messages? Oh, it didn't fall out, so I'm not going to use it. Get some messages for Gemini season for my wonderful socialites. What messages do you have for us? Okay, we are starting out with the Eight of Swords. All right, let's get some clarification before I go into all that. All right. Nine of Swords. Nine of this is another one of those decks where they don't call them the traditional names. So chalices are cups, Nine of Cups. And the Lovers. Okay, well, we're already getting mercurial and air sign energy here because swords are the air sign cards. Now, Eight of Swords. What have we been holding ourselves back from? What have we? Now this is self-restriction too, might add. And if you look at this card, you see it's like this bird lady, and she has like a wool over her eyes, and the swords are surrounding her. She's almost encaged. What have we been holding ourselves back for? What have we been closing ourselves off from? But as a reminder, like it's us doing it, like self-restriction. So I'm getting this message that we're playing small, and we're playing small because it's safe. Because we're scared of what's to come, and that shows up right here with the Nine of Swords. Now, I make a joke if you're in my tarot class that this is my Sunday scary card. But you know, here's this woman trying to take a freaking nap or go to bed, and there's this crazy little devil person in her face, like what it's like to have kids. No, I'm kidding. Just a joke. But he's like in her face, but he's like this clear, weird thing, and she's kind of all like, this is indicative of our anxieties. So we're letting our anxieties self-restrict us from going after something. So let's see what's going on with this. So let's keep going here. It's interesting. Okay. Three of Cups. It's funny too with this deck it's very pretty. This is the back of the deck. The cards like look like the front and the back. Not this one so much, but there's a lot of blues and purples, so I almost get confused when I lay them out. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Three of Coins, and we have the Four of Coins. Okay, so it's coming back again that we are withholding our own greatness. We all have these divine higher paths, but we can't be scared to play small and not step into them. And that's why people stay at jobs that suck for so long. It's because they're so scared of making any movement. They're stagnant, they're stuck, they're fixed there. But we have the Ace of Wands that's presenting us an opportunity to follow our passion and inspire others. In fact, inspire others for sure, because the Three of Coins, I'm getting that this is something that's going to involve community. So we're self-restricting ourselves from following our higher calling, which is another word for what I call passion, because we're scared of what, our own greatness. Let's see here. I'm actually going to grab the other deck. I'm going to grab the Muse because I want to get a little clarity on this, because all this self-restriction, all this holding ourselves back, like what is up with that when we have a chance to step into this inspirational, passionate, higher calling that we've all dreamed of and have a new beginning that way? All right, Page of Emotions. Oh, again, this is another deck that whatchamacallit, they don't use the same titles. So Emotions is cups here, the way chalices are cups in the other deck. By the way, these decks are beautiful and I absolutely recommend them. This is what I mean by different decks giving you different downloads, because the art is so different on these. Okay. All right. So what's going on right now, and I would classify this whole wild cosmic time right now, is this is meant to show us something. This is meant to be a lesson. It's a spiritual teacher. Are we going to get it together enough to take the step forward, to stop restricting ourselves, to step into our path? Oh my God, this is exactly what's going on right now, because with what's going on in the nodes is about our fate, about destiny. But we can't get to our destiny if we're holding ourselves back. We need to master our emotions, because we're not quite there yet. We have good hearts, don't get me wrong. We need to get some self-mastery on the emotional front. And we need to be using this time to project ourselves in the timeline that we want. We have goals, we have aspirations. We want to follow a higher calling and be part of, work at our passion and not be like either stuck at a 9 to 5 or stuck somewhere where we're fucking penny pinching and hoarding our time, money, and resources. No, this is not the time for that. This is the age of Aquarius. We are leaders of the new earth, and people, we're put here to inspire. But we can't do that if we're not trusting ourselves and we're still holding ourselves back. This needs to be a teacher to us that this is the time. This is the time. No more self-restriction, you guys. Okay. Now, the 9 of Cups. I'm going to move because I feel good about this leg, because I feel like I know where it's going over there. The 9 of Cups, though, is about like wish fulfillment at the end of the day. Our cups are filled. And I really like this. It's both like fairy princessy at the same time urban. Like I like ballerinas a lot. I always when I was a little girl I wanted to be one. And with the castle and all that, it's this again, it's that whimsical, and then with the stars, it reminds me a little bit of like Starry Night. Whimsical, I guess, might be the theme for this reading with the Gemini. But this is really about wish fulfillment. And for me, I feel like this woman is showing us that you can have it all, and you could do it all on one foot, on a freaking toe if you need to, and you could do it with grace and ease. So we can break out of what this self-restriction is. It's a mental pattern, not just mental, it's an energetic pattern too. So let me keep going. I'm gonna go back to this deck. I believe in this deck there's a few extra cards as well. I want to say she does the Lovers twice, which we already pulled the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. Get some more though on the Cups. Eight of Cups. I love when the messages just come together like that. All right, boos. Okay, so we have the 8 of Cups, and here we have this beautiful girl with her long hair looking at the castle from her rock. And this very much reminds me of the Little Mermaid. Most people, I feel, would interpret this as she's longing and she's sad. I see it as she's envisioning her future. And she wants her future there. She wants to be in the castle the way Ariel wanted some fucking legs and to marry that stupid prince. So I feel like she's envisioning and manifesting, and she knows that her future is so much better than where she is now. So she knows that she can have it all, because you know what? We're all magicians, and everything we need to create the life that we want is within us. We need to just stop holding ourselves back. We need to trust ourselves. It's not just about trusting the universe, because if you want to really get down to it, the universe, our highest selves, God, creator, source, divine, spirit, whatever you put that word to it, we're all one. And that is actually the whole premise of the fifth dimensional consciousness, is we are all one. There's no separate entity. There's no separate physical. It's not. We're all one consciously. So the magician is reminding us that we have all the tools we need within us to create this reality that we want. And here's the Empress reminding us that we can create, reminding us that we are fertile with ideas, and that not to get worried, and to stop restricting ourselves, because we have to trust ourselves, trust our creativity, trust our intuition, trust our connection to the high, ourselves, to Mama Gaia even. I know I'm really went off that way. I really went off there, but what do we gain by restricting ourselves? What do we gain by living in worry and fear? That's us trying to control something. And when you start accepting that certain things you cannot control because they're out of your hands, no matter what the outcome is, that's the outcome. It's just that. I'll tell you guys a little quick story here. So at the beginning of Mercury retrograde, I got into it with PayPal, which I'm famous for doing. Because they have ridiculous rules in regards to money, and they happen to be the only payment gateway that'll support my website, because most places consider me a fortune teller, and that goes against their rules. But porn is okay. So anyway, so I had a previous client buy a shit ton of stuff off of my website. She wanted to take a bunch of my courses, and I had just put them all on sale. So she buys them, and I send them to her, and they put a hold on the funds, and I'm like, why? So I call them, and they're like, yeah, nothing we could really do about it. They're like, it could be because it's a suspicious transaction. I'm like, no, I know this client. She's purchased from my website before. They're like, oh, well, we see you've been a member of PayPal for a long time. And I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers, I have been. So basically, it was just no really good reason. So then they were like, okay, in 48 hours, you can ask her to release the holds. And I'm like, man, come on, because I don't like doing that to my clients. I don't like asking them for stuff. I mean, I'm here to serve them. I don't want to inconvenience anyone on Memorial Day weekend too, might I add. So, I cursed a couple of them out because the first person gave me the wrong information. And the second person, whatever, I wasted like an hour of my life, which I already can't get back, right? So I got really pissed. I cursed them out, blah, blah, blah. And then I hung up. I talked to my client. She's like, don't worry, I'll talk to them on Sunday or whatever. But I was like, you know what? What can I do? I just tried to do everything. No supervisor was releasing this, nothing. So you know what? Had to be what it had to be. And yes, I let myself slip, and I got really pissed, and I cursed people out because I don't agree with what they do. I find that PayPal, they're really good at taking money, but they really don't like to give it up. But I came to the point where I was just like, why am I wasting my own time? That's annoying. I don't want to sit in madness. I don't want to sit like this. There's nothing I can do. And look, it all worked out. It all worked out. My life was not dependent on that money. Everything worked out. And that's kind of a mindset that you need to adapt, that no matter what's happening to you, it just is. It just is, and it's all taking you to where it needs to take you. And that's where the releasing comes. All right, I really went off there. Sorry, guys. I guess I had to get that PayPal story off my chest. So I actually feel good about this leg, where it's telling us that it's all within us. We have the powers to stop our own shit and stop holding ourselves back, and truly manifest this life that we really want. So I'm going to go on to the Lovers card, because this is interesting. I want to see where the card takes us. So I'm going to go, I'm going to use this deck again. Yeah. Okay. All right. So after the lovers, we have the three of swords, which is like, fuck. No one wants to see that. But I'm actually not interpreting the lovers necessarily as two lovers here. I'm interpreting it as a union. And I feel like it's us holding on to our old selves. So look at this card. So it's the man and the woman are holding hands. They have apples, and you see Cupid leaving. I feel this is really us holding on to our old selves. And if we keep doing that, we come into a pattern of self betrayal, because that's how you restrict yourself, by not allowing yourself to grow and not letting yourself let go of those old parts of you that need to be released. Um, so the Nine of Wands has us being a little bit stubborn. Like, that's it. I just want to try this out one more time. But has it really ever worked for us? No. No. We know we need to grow, change, and evolve for these things to happen. And the Knight of Wands, I feel like, is bringing us some good news. I feel good about the Knight of Wands. Now, I'm actually going to get some clarification on it, because I want to know, what news does he bear? I feel like he's like coming in on his bird, like, look at that. Okay, so let's get some clarification on this Knight of Wands. Just had some jump. Oh, there's too many of them. Too many. If there's one or two, I'll usually go with the jumpers, but sometimes I drop a lot. All right. We get some clarification on this Knight of Wands. Emotions. Okay. So, actually, I'm going to get one more here. Alrighty. So, basically, we have this decision to shut or get off the pot when it comes to shedding our old fucking self. Are we gonna release our old patterns? Are we going to keep self-restricting ourselves, or are we going to tap into that inner knowing, that inner creativity, that inner self, and are we going to paint our own future? And are we going to be using these eclipse transits to do it? Yes, I'm going to give that a yes. And if we do it, something, community is coming up. Community is coming up here. So 3 of emotions and 4 of inspiration. Now 4 of inspiration is usually like what I would say a celebration, but if you look at this card, I feel like it's more about a community coming together, and so is the 3. So what part of this, maybe the aspect we're missing, is needing to find our soul family to do this, or finding like-minded people to be on this journey with. Gonna pull another card here. Don't feel like this message is really complete yet. Nine of Cups again. So wish fulfillment is in our future. We have to trust ourselves to get there. And the world. Okay. All right. So this is a place of completion. So what I'm really getting from all of this is, when we release our old self-restricting behavior, and we stop staying in our old patterns, and we follow our path to this new beginning, and really trust ourselves, like, to manifest what we really want, whether it's our higher calling, whether it's family, money, whatever it is that our little hearts and souls desires, we can do that, but only we can do that. And we can only do that by stopping our own bullshit and releasing that person we were to become the person we're meant to be, the next level of ourselves, the freaking glow up. Okay. And when that happens, we will have that fulfillment that we need. Our dreams will come true, our manifestations will come through, but we'll be on top of the world, so to speak. Well, all right. Oh, you know what? I just realized I did not pull an oracle card down because I always like to close out with that. 1 second, guys. I'm just going to put you on pause. Okay, guys, I'm back. All right. So going with this beautiful colored whimsical theme I have here, I just want to say I feel like the bottom line of this reading is we have everything within us to release our old self and stop self-restriction and bring our manifestations to fruition. So I love this deck. I forgot about it and then I used it for my members this month. This is called a yogic path. Um, may these cards bridge you to your highest self is the message from them. So I'm going to pull an oracle card for this to close this reading out. This is not one of the oracles that I do so well with putting the messages together myself because it's all based on yogic practices. Now, I love yoga. I've practiced on and off for 15 years, but I've never studied at an ashram or something like that. So I would consider my knowledge of true yogic paths very limited. Downward dog like a motherfucker. So, all right. So Spirit, can we get a final card to close out this reading for the Grounded and Glam Gemini Sun Goddess? All right. Dharma. Oh, and I just have to show you how pretty these cards are. Sorry, I know the light is hitting it. Dharma. So this is actually something I am slightly familiar with, but I'm going to read the messages from this book. Dharma, number 19. Your highest purpose. Basically what this whole reading was about. All right. Congratulations. You are on the path to fulfilling your highest purpose. You have recently unraveled deeper insight into why you were put here on this planet and are ready to share your gifts in a bigger way. You have realized that the obstacles you have faced were given to you for a reason and have provided you with the strength you need to show up as your highest self. The universe is ready for you to rise up into your Dharma role to uplift the vibration of this entire planet. Continue to listen to the whispers of your soul. Well, that really just summed everything up right here, if you ask me. That is awesome. I just adore this deck. I got to remember to use it more. But I just want to say thank you, everyone, for your continued support. If this video resonates with you, I would totally appreciate a like, a comment, a share. For you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you ever want to get in contact with me, I will leave the links below, but my website is www.erintheurbanmermaid. My Instagram is at Erin the Urban Mermaid. And I also have my podcast, which I do the interviews here, but which is on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. And that is the hashtag Grounded and Glam Modern Mystics and Motherhood podcast. Thank you all again so much for tuning in. Take what you need from this reading and leave the rest. Okay. Much love.